Hey dudes, Rhino here. Today I'm going to be doing a base tour. This is not my base. This is our starter base out here. I heard someone creeping around out here. I'm a little paranoid right now. I think we should be alright. So it's been a while, gentlemen. I know I've been kind of doing a lot of random shit lately. As far as the channel goes, trying to bring you tutorials and some squad gameplay of raiding and kind of all sorts of shit on the channel, to be honest. But I feel like I'm bringing you good stuff, and that's all that's really important. That's a spooked horse down there. I don't know if that was a player or what. So this is probably one of the most epic builds I've done in Rust, and this was not a solo effort by any means. Although I was the architect, I had a lot of people helping me, and I built this over the course of about 2 weeks. It's easily used 500,000 stone to complete, and it is a monster. So I'm going to go ahead and run through what we call Fort Final. And this is actually the compound we're approaching right now. I'm just making sure that there's nobody creeping outside. I heard somebody before I started to head down the mountain while I was in the mining shack. And that's what I like to do. I really like to build out here in the snow. I like to set up in a spot, as you can see, that has abundant resources early game, because it's easy to manually farm when there's so many nodes everywhere. So we set up that little shit shack. And this is our compound. This is Fort Final. We call it Fort Final because this is where you fight the final boss in Rust, aka me and my crew. As you can see here, I've put a lot of barricades in these bushes to ensure that people aren't camping them, waiting for us to come out. We're going to go ahead and go in here. One of the most important things I think you can do when you build a compound is get a quarry down immediately. Because that's going to, quarries are like the anti-farm. That's going to negate your time farming. And I'll actually fire this up so you guys can see what this produces. Give this one 100. This is one of the newest quarry. Produces high quality sulfur and stone, I believe. We're going to find out here. And then this is yet another quarry. This one is a sulfur and stone only. We also have oil refineries here. I personally like the snow for a number of reasons. One of the biggest reasons is I've been live streaming a lot lately, and it seems like somehow, some way, there's always going to be people who try to stream snipe and get on the stream or think they're going to be in a YouTube video by running in front of my base and Rhino. Like, that's probably not the best way to get in a YouTube video. But so when we come out to the snow, it's a lot harder for these guys. And so I like building out here. It's hard, Rust is a hard game. You take to the snow and it gets a lot harder. Giggity. And then this is also where we cook. We power cook stuff. At least when we need to cook it fast. You can power cook by just splitting stacks. I'm sure most of you know that. So you take, let's say we had a lot of metal here. You just take and split the stacks all the way up and then only leave 2 spots, one for whatever you're cooking, the refined, and then one for coal, and then obviously the wood as well. I can see that there is a breach in the wall. That's just deterioration, I think. I really don't like using these great walls for a couple reasons. One of them is they're a pain in the ass to maintain. See, these the other one is that they're actually really easy to pickaxe down. If you get 3 or 4 guys, you can melt those great walls pretty quickly. So I like to use these because this kind of forces whoever's raiding you to use C4. And that's just an exit right there. And we can go around to the other side of the compound. And Rhino being lazy. Yeah, see, this is a spot Bodusky got stuck in, and apparently I'm lazy because I didn't put his. I never got stuck here, so go around to this side. Barbed wire barricades are great. They're easy to build over. As you can see, I need a building cupboard back here. By the time someone swims this far out, they're going to be freezing to death. So I haven't really done that yet. Or maybe Bo's right and I am being lazy. I do need to do that. Let's go check our other quarries out. I also need to put some higher walls here so they can't boost. You know, double jump with the boost. And then this would be another sulfur and sulfur stone and metal fragments on this quarry. And then this is also our other high quality quarry. And one of the great things about living like down next to the beach like this and in the snow is it's nearly impossible. You see, we're on one side of the compound right now and you can't hear the quarries, right? So there's no visual indicator of the quarries, or there's no audio indicator of the quarries, which is huge because if you have enough fuel, essentially you can just free farm sulfur and just make tons and tons of C4 and tons of rockets without really being messed with or having to like babysit your quarries. You know, I throw these on, I go to sleep, I come on the next day and they're all filled up. As long as I have the fuel to obviously fill them up, which is one of the struggles out here in the snow. I noticed you can easily hunt tons of animals, as you saw coming in to the compound. There was a ton of animals that are available to hunt, and then you can produce, you know, the fuel from combining the fat and the cloth. That's kind of a pain in the ass. Ideally, you do want some kind of oil compound out in the desert, or preferably in the grass, since there's no snow that meets desert and rust as far as biome generation goes. So you'll always have a barrier of grassland between the snow. So the trek out there is going to be it's going to be a pain in the ass if you have to travel halfway across the map for fuel every time. So that's probably the only gripe I have about living in the snow is the lack of cloth and fuel. But I think that's why high quality is only located in the snow and like forest regions versus the desert. All right, so I'm going to bring you into the compound. Let me just talk a little bit about the design of it. So when I first built it, it looked like a giant cube. One of the things that I learned from building this, you see all this flat area around me. This is a really great spot to build because I had so much room to work with. And I learned that probably one of the best things you can do is get like the basic foundation and core of your base down, and you can always expand out if you have enough flat room. So say you only get one honeycomb down, you can always, if you build it correctly, you can always get room for, you know, you leave yourself enough room to expand out. So let's go ahead and go in here, and there's going to be a lot of doors. It's really confusing. Just to give you guys ideas for your next build, or for maybe a group build or a small crew, even though that there's like a lot of people in this group, you could easily build this with 2 or 3 regulars. You know, if you have an extra couple friends who are casuals that hop on maybe once a week or once every couple days, something like this is definitely viable. So let's go ahead and get in here, and I'll just walk you through exactly what I built and why. So this is the first airlock and the first honeycomb. As you can see, there's 2 steps or 2 floors not separated by a middle floor. The reason I did that is because although you can triple stack in Rust, if you have like 3, 4, 5 guys, we could actually stack all the way to the top of this. You can't double stack on these floors if there's no floors. So that means that 2 guys can't stack up and easily just boom, get into the next floor. It makes it a lot harder. So we're going to go through a lot of doors. This would be airlock number 2, airlock number 3. And now you'd say, okay, we're in the base. It's pretty obvious which way to go because of the armor doors, but these are all troll doors right here. These actually lead to nothing. Some of them lead to cabinets. This actually leads back outside. some, like this is a troll cabinet. That's not really the alpha. I'll show you guys where the alpha is in a minute. And there's 2 layers of that. Now the interesting thing to keep in mind here is this is a whole layer of honeycomb. So this follows the entire base around, and what's inside of here is the half blocks, which actually recently got removed by Gary. They removed the half blocks. But either way, you're looking at so far 1, 2, 3 layers of honeycomb, including this buffer layer, which encompasses the whole building. And then this would be the 4th layer of honeycomb. It's a little excessive, I know. There's literally nothing in this whole outer layer. Just imagine like 2 empty bunkers, and that's really all it is. And then on this one, I specifically left the walls reversed so that they would pickaxe through. These walls face the way they face all the way around, because this actually leads into the base. It's really confusing, I know, but it's designed that way. This also leads to more honeycomb, and this actually starts to lead into the base. So you can see the walls are reversed for the most part the right way. It's leading them back out the base. And these are all our airlock doors. Now, this is like the dead center of the building right here. These doors lead the same exact way out. It's symmetrical. So as you can see, we got the 4 layers as well. All troll doors. And some of these, I think one of these has a cupboard. Same thing as the other one. Maybe not. And then this leads back outside, as you can see. So right off the bat, you're looking at like 2 C4 per door if they know the route. At minimum, it's going to be probably 10 C4 just to get to the first floor. And then you can see here the walls are all reversed so they can't pickaxe, forcing them to C4 that as well. And then this is going to be our furnace room, or LaDonna's kitchen, as we like to call it. LaDonna's motto is, LaDonna don't lie. LaDonna has a negative D rating. Not a D minus, but a negative D rating. I didn't draw this, but yeah. So this is our furnace room. As you can see, Shin-Zero's sleeping right here. Just kidding, Shin-Zero. This is our furnace room. This is for coal. The reason we have so many furnaces is because when you're producing as much gunpowder as we're producing, you need a lot of coal, and the only way to do that is to have all of these furnaces. Same rules apply as the central core. You can see there is no floor. There is no way to boost up. Now, technically, they could boost on this and then have someone else boost up there. It's a real pain in the ass. If you're wondering what that sound is, we'll get to that in a minute. But this is our next room, the war room. This is where we do our planning. I'm sure you guys have seen some of this from Operation Red Snow. And if you haven't seen it yet, I don't know which one I'm going to post first. This is Operation Cherry Popper. This is a mission we halfway completed. And when you see the op video, you'll know why. And this is Beach Hill sleeping here. He tagged along for the op. And so this is just basically where we plan our shit. And welcome to our inner courtyard. Oh, hello, Mr. Sentry Gun. That's Betsy. She guards the base. As you can see, she has a perfect line of sight down this lane, which is a really crucial choke point because this is that leads to our stairwell. Let me just walk you through why everything's reversed here. Okay, so the walls are reversed this way. The first floor you're going to see is that floor right there. Just like the inside of the furnace room, this is all empty space, isolated by walls. Wall here, empty space all the way up. Now this just prevents people from pickaxe raiding, so they can't just jump up and pickaxe the next floor up and then boost their buddies. This kind of forces play. It absolutely, if they want to complete the raid, they're forced to bring C4 and rockets. Otherwise, there's no other way that they could possibly get up. Now let me just walk you through the lanes here. Now, like this door being open with the sentry gun, the long-term plan was to get a sentry gun on each one of these doorways. so that there would be absolutely no way for anyone to hide. Like, they couldn't hide here away from that sentry gun because this one would be guarding him as well. And they couldn't hide here under these two because this sentry gun would be hitting every blind spot. Long term, before the wipe, I'd like to do that. That would be awesome. But it is pretty hard to get these sentry guns. So you have to get the blueprint, you have to take a helicopter out, or get airdrop, or get the parts from an airdrop. So let's go ahead and head up into the gonna head up into the stairwell here. Lots of doors, just basically keeping people from just pickaxing them. I also did the frames. A lot of people don't do the frames because it's pointless, but they can still pickaxe the stone if they get in. Like, if they come up through this floor, now they can't pickaxe. You know, if they somehow manage to boost all the way up pickaxing this floor, they still have to C4 the doors. And so we got, this is the sentry gun right here. For those of you who haven't seen it, I'm going to go ahead and just turn it off and show you here. It has a permission system. You can clear the authorized list. You can deauthorize. You can authorize. It also, you know, turn it on. It has an ammo system, which it looks like somebody's been taking all the ammo out of it. Probably Bodusky. Go ahead and put some more ammo in here. Turn this back on. It also faces a 180 degree field of view. You see I can switch it here to face the other way. Actually, I can rotate it all 4 ways. So let's see here. You actually have to leave it off to do that. Okay, let me see. Maybe not. Maybe it's only 180. Yeah, it's only 180. You can either switch it forward or backward. So when you place it, keep that in mind. If you want it to cover, you know, this way, you'd have to place it this way, and it would only cover this lane or this lane. It doesn't require electricity yet, and it's fucking awesome. It hammers people, dude. Like, they have no chance. Like, if you're trying to firefight this thing, you're gonna lose. It's basically like aimbot. It's a good way to keep your base fortified. Now this is just if people are in, this is for an active raid to just keep them from, you know, getting any further. We have all these doors up here. I put sandbags here before the update. The most recent update kind of made them double in size. Before, they were perfect for their position because you could take cover and you could peek up and shoot down the lane. Now they are kind of just blocking everything. I'm going to have to come back and destroy these. You can see I have all the corners isolated too. And now we're getting into the center of the building. All right. I'm actually going to have to build this bridge here. This is like kind of like a drawbridge. I delete it, or whoever last one on deletes it every time we play or every time we log, so that, you know, even if they C4 this door or C4 this door, it's just kind of like another level of fuck this base, you know. We've raided a lot of pain in the ass bases, and it gets to a certain point where you give up because you've either run out of resources or the architecture of it is just so frustrating that it's not even worth it. And this is just another one of these things to where if they do get through here and there's no bridge here, they're going to have to make this jump every single time they want to get through. So, and since they don't have building permissions, they can't heal up as easy because they can't stick like a campfire down. So it's just another pain in the ass thing for them. And this is our catwalk. First outside catwalk where we can kind of just check the area. On the original design, all of these towers were like a relief, or they extended out to cover whatever it was. This is a design flaw when I was making the quarries. I wanted to cover each wall of the quarry so that I could actually see. As you can see here, here's a little insight into one of the layers or two of the layers of the honeycomb. But see, I can cover. So basically the idea behind this was there's no blind spots on the entire outside of the base, so people can't be creeping around or putting bags down next to the base or any of that, because we have it covered. And I'll just show you guys this as well. I kind of got it to work on this one, but unfortunately because of quarry placements, you can't really there's no real way to, you know, the quarry just goes where it goes, and you have to build outside of that. See, this is kind of, not really. And that is out of fuel as well. I'm going to have to go out to the desert. I'm going to have to go on a desert op and get some oil run. Alright, this is basically our catwalk. And we left this one open. Just show you this other point of view over here. I left these doors too. These doors are great. I like them better than windows because you can actually crouch and shoot versus, you know, not being able to, you know, when you stand, there's a little bit of sway. So like when you're standing up, I don't know if you guys knew this, but there actually is a little bit of variation in your holding your rifle. If you're crouched down, it kind of like you're going prone. It makes it a lot more solid. Solidifies the shot so it doesn't sway as much. I'm still trying to get used to the bolt. On the recent update, they completely removed bullet drop, which I'm kind of sad about. And there's virtually no recoil for those of you guys who don't know. So if I like, check this out. That's pretty ridiculous, right? Like no recoil, barely any spread. That kind of sucks. I hope that they add in the future, they add the drop back, because that was like really appealing for me, is having some kind of skill level involved. See, I'm so used to leading a shot, and I'm so used to bullet drop that it's hard to have a gun that, it's hard for me to shoot a gun that's like dead on. It's just weird. It feels like almost feels like a Call of Duty game or like Counter-Strike or something. It's just strange. Anyways, all right, enough of that potato aim. I'll walk you through the rest of the base here. I'm actually going to go ahead and delete this. More doors, more airlocks, and boom, here's our loot room. Or so you think. This is actually our this is our troll loot room. If you can believe that. This is actually a room that's designed to look like our loot room, but actually has really nothing in it. It's just a fucking troll. We kept a little bit of stuff in here so that the raiders feel like, oh, you know, like all this shit that we took on a raid, we don't use any of this gear. Just because I prefer the bone armor versus the metal skirt. The bone armor has less cold, so if go ahead and check this out. You can see it amplifies the cold with the metal skirt. It also doesn't cover as much area. You see the legs here, like it covers a whole lot, and you're really only losing 2 bullet protection, which is huge. You're losing, you know, melee and all this other stuff, but for living out in the cold, this just amplifies the cold. So we went ahead and put all this stuff in here. There's a couple spots to hide and sleep. You can see Losky, Sinbad, Holmesy, they're all sleeping in the same spot right here. This is like one of the oh shit rooms that we can spawn in, one of the sleeping rooms. Let's go ahead and keep going up here. This is Bo's rock box. As you can see, he doesn't have a single rock in it. I like to take him out and throw him. And this would be Zambi right here sleeping. And this is where we keep our, you know, repair bench. One of our repair benches, research bench. More bedrooms. Got a lot of beds in here. And the beds have a faster timer, for those of you who didn't know. Sleeping bags, you know, you can get some pretty nasty 4-minute timers on it, whereas the beds never goes over 2 minutes. And then you can see with the Halloween update, they added some bags. I think this is Bo Dusky's. And then we're going to go up to the top, and I'm going to show you the view from the top. This is one of our signs here, Myrica. We're actually playing on a European server, or well, I don't want to say what server because tomorrow I'll wake up after I post the video and the whole thing will be blown up because I just showed you guys what you need to do. Ah, fuck it, I'll say it. Facepunch Hong Kong, come get me, motherfucker. Yeah, bring a lot of C4, no hacks, please. And you can see here, this people like try to build up. We got the metal barricades on top of that, so they can't get on the roof. And this is still a work in progress. I was going to put one more lookout post on top of here, just to peek off the top, even though your head would be skylining. But I really like what they did with these HESCO barriers. They're big. You can take cover behind them now. They actually look like real HESCO barriers, or at least in size. And then same thing with the sandbags. And they're quick to craft as well. I was hoping that maybe we would see the guy that was creeping outside of the mining court or the mining base, and I could pop him. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to have to hunt this deer. There we go, headshot. All right. Probably asking yourself, well, Rhino, where's the loot at? First, you got to see this. All nakeds must die. That's pretty much our motto around here. Anyone coming out here naked, it's like the law of the land. It's the unwritten code of these parts, is all nakeds must die. Pretty much everyone. I should just put everyone must die. I don't know. All right, let's go check out the real loot room. And here we are. Bank of Reno, or Bank of Bodusky. And here's Hand in the Cannons box. I don't know what's in there. I've been meaning to break that. Perhaps we'll do that so we can see what's inside. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, so we got our wood, which is probably the first thing we run out of. We got our stone, which we're pushing 1, 2, 3, about 400,000 stone, something like that. Metal frags in the thousands, 40,000, 50,000. Tons of sulfur ore that we need to cook up. I'm actually going to stack this up over here. For gunpowder, lots of bones, 15, 17,000 bones. Not that much cloth. Actually, don't have a lot of cloth, only 1,800. No fat, because we make fuel with that. Tons of leather. No hatchets, pickaxes. Sulfur, we don't really have a lot of sulfur. Coal, we don't have a lot of coal. You can tell what we use the most. Fuel and sulfur and coal. All right, we'll start on this side. Not really a lot. We just did a big raid for Operation Cherry Popper. So we blew off about 20 C4 and about 15 rockets. So you guys will see the video for that. High quality, not really a lot of high quality. We've had up to like 500 in here, 600. This is Zambi's box. I don't know why he keeps these ponchos in here, but I'm stealing one. And, ooh, that's a nice sword too. I'll take that. He'll never know. And then this is a miscellaneous chest. Got ladders and barricades and all sorts of bullshit. Health. More tools. This is excess guns. Ammo. Clothes. Armor. More ammo, which I actually need some of this ammo. I should make some more. More guns. And then my box right here, which, I just keep guns and like I try to keep an extra set of clothes just in case we're being raided and I get wrecked and I need to run up here and grab shit. Actually, throw this in here. I need to research this. Miner's helmet. And that's it, right? So, now let me show you the secret final last stand. There's a couple spots. Okay, so I like to go to sleep up here sometimes. Sometimes I stick through the wall on the outside and you can see my feet, which probably isn't a good thing because someone could walk by and shoot me and my body would die. My body would despawn. But this is something that I started making recently that I think is really good. This is the final stand room right here. And you can see Scudpunk sleeping right there. This is like the final stand, last spawn point. A lot of guys come in this room and they lose their shit. They're really not paying attention. You're low enough to where, you could really wait till they all get in here and during an active raid. And if they're all running up in here and doing this, they're really not going to be paying attention to down there. And especially if you're like under this sign right here, up close, and you can just light them up. I've never got to experience that. Hopefully that works out. I hope you guys like this build. It was a tremendous effort by a lot of people. If you guys who helped build this are watching, big thank you for all your farming efforts to keep us, keep this base fed. A lot of people involved. I hope you guys liked the video. I'm sorry that I haven't been posting as often. I stream 6 days a week, and I've tried to really bring you guys, really interesting content. And I think this base is definitely one of the most epic bases I've built in Rust, and it's a pretty substantial base to raid. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Peace!